Okay. Good morning, children. Welcome to the online class. Today we are going to start the civics lesson 2, that is mentioned here, the unit 2, election, political parties and pressure groups. This is the heading of the lesson, civics lesson. First, we are going to see first topic about the election. Now and then we used to hear the word election. That the meaning of the word election, that is, it is a formal decision-making process. Election is a formal decision-making process which people choose the individual to hold public office by voting. Through the voting, people are chosen by the people for the public office. That is called election. In India, the election will be held once in 5 years normally. Normally, the election will be held once in 5 years. The next heading is given about the electoral system in India. We got independence in the year 1947, August 15th. Before that, India was ruled by the British people. Britishers ruled our country, India, more than 200 years. After that, we got independence, that is 1947, August 15th. What system they followed? The same system is followed, especially in the administration of our country, India. Administration of our country, India, what the Britishers followed, they almost the same system is followed. That is, here mentioned the electoral system in India. Adapted the United Kingdom. United Kingdom means Scotland, England, Ireland together called United Kingdom. That is the British system. The electoral system in India is followed what the British people followed, the same system. That is adapted from the United Kingdom. The Constitution, we have the lengthiest Constitution, written Constitution. Many articles are written in that our Constitution. Article 324 to 329 mention about the electoral system in India. Electoral system in India. In that Article 324 says about the Constitution of our country, India, says that Independent Election Commission. To conduct the free and fair election, there is an Independent Election Commission is there in our country, India. The Independent Election Commission, that is one Chief Election Commissioner assisted by 2 election commissioners. Totally 3 election commissioners. In that, 1 chief and assisted by 2 election commissioners. They are responsible, the election commission is responsible to conduct the free and fair election in our country, India. The parliament election will be held once in 5 years. 2 years back, one parliament election held throughout the country, India. To conduct the parliament election, the parliament make provisions. The parliament make provisions to conduct the free and fair election in India. The parliament make provisions including the preparation of electoral rolls. Electoral rolls, they prepare the electoral roll. The names of the members, names of the members who are going to vote in the election, that is electoral roll. That will be prepared before the election, maybe a parliament election or assembly election. Before that, the electoral roll will be prepared. For that, the parliament make provisions to make the electoral rolls. They include the voters and exclude the voters. include people who attain the age of 18. That is the adult franchise. That is, citizen of India who attain the age of 18 eligible to cast the vote. For that, their name must be enrolled in the electoral rolls. So they will prepare the electoral rolls to include their names in the electoral roll. That is preparation of electoral roll. Even the state assembly election also, before the assembly election also, they will make the electoral roll. For that, they will make the provisions in the state assembly to prepare the electoral roll. Before that assembly election, they will make, they will include their names to attain the age of 18. And people, those who die, their names will be excluded. All that will be done before the assembly election or a parliament election. Then one more system, that is the one more election, that is local body election. That also important, the local body election. In the ancient period, to conduct one of the kingdom was famous in the ancient period, that is Chola period. They conducted the local body election, that is known as Kudavole system. That is during the Chola period. In Tamil Nadu, the three kingdoms, famous kingdoms, in that Chola kingdom was famous. Cholas gave efficient administration through the. Further, they used to conduct the election. In that local body election was famous. Further, they followed the system called Kudavole system. Kudavole system, that kudam that is made out of clay, that they will write their names and roll and put in the kudam and lot, and ask the boy who standing nearby, and he will take the lot from the kudam, and which names comes in that they will be announced as the elected person. That is Kudavole system during the Chola period. Then the next one is election process. In India, national level election is there, state level election is there, and local body election also there. Three types of election will be held in India. All the three elections, parliament election, assembly election, and the local body election, all will be conducted once in 5 years. In the parliament election, even the prime minister also elected by the people. Present Prime Minister Narendra Modi also contested in the election and won the election and became the Prime Minister. He is also the leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party. That election, the parliament election, the BJP party won majority seat, that is two-third majority. Two-third majority, the parliament has got that party leader, Narendra Modi. Mr. Narendra Modi became the Prime Minister because he was the leader of that party. Thus the Prime Minister is elected. Which party gets majority seats in the parliament election, that party leader will be elected as the Prime Minister of India. Likewise, Mr. Narendra Modi also elected as the Prime Minister of India. To the election process, in our country, we are using the electronic voting machine. At the time of election, people go to the election booth and they have to vote for whom they wish to vote. Their names, people are contesting that constituency, their names will be there in the electronic machine, and the symbol also will be there in the electronic machine. People, those who are willing to cast our vote, to whom they wish to cast the vote, they have to see that voting machine, their names and symbol, Against there, one blue color button will be there. That they have to press that blue color button and cast the vote. Now, one more thing they have introduced, that is VPAT, that is Voters Verified Paper Audit Trial. That machine also recently introduced in the election. Before 2014, that was not available. Now, at present, it is used for that transparency and credibility of the election process. Transparency and credibility of the election process, they have used the VPAT machine. VPAT machine. Through that, they can identify whom the person is voted. That is more useful. It is more credibility and transparency of the election process. So they are using that VPAT machine at present. Then one more thing is used in the electronic machine, that is NOTA system. Introduction of the NOTA system. That also now the electronic voting system they have introduced, that is NOTA. That means none of the above. None of the above. The symbol used with the NOTA option on the electronic voting machine in India. Those who are not willing to any one of the person who is contesting in the constituency, they can use that option, that is NOTA option. That NOTA option was first introduced in the general election 2014. Before that it was not used. Now that NOTA option is used in the electronic voting machine. The next heading is about types of election in India. Types of election. There are two types of election, that is direct election and indirect election. Direct election, people directly elect their representatives to the parliament and assembly, even the local bodies, that is called direct elections. Indirect election means people are not electing their representatives directly. Elected representatives elect the rulers, that is called indirect elections. Indirect election. So, two types of election, one is direct election, another one is indirect election. Direct election means citizen of India who attain the age of 18 cast their vote to elect the representatives, that is direct election. Indirect election means people are not casting their vote to elect the representatives. The elected representatives elect the persons, that is indirect election. Adult franchise, through the direct elections, representatives are elected, people who attain the age of 18, that is adult franchise. That is the criteria to elect our representatives. The age of 18 participate in the electoral process by casting their vote. To cast their vote, people who attain the age of 18, they cast their vote. That is that is direct elections. Lok Sabha elections. Example: Lok Sabha elections. Lok Sabha means the lower house of the parliament. The lower house of the parliament members are directly elected by the people. Directly elected by the people. Elected members of the members present in the parliament, that is the lower house of the parliament. It is a powerful house of the parliament because here present the elected members, elected parliament members are present in Lok Sabha. Even the elected assemblies, elected MLAs, we say assembly members are directly elected by the people. Even the local body election, local bodies, village panchayat, town panchayat, corporation, these members also are directly elected by the people. These are all the examples, that is parliament, Lok Sabha election, assembly election and local body elections are example for the direct elections. The direct election, there are some merits and demerits. There are some merits and demerits in the direct election. Merits: direct elections are more democratic because people directly take part in the election process. They are taking the representatives directly, so it is more democratic. More democratic. Because why it is more democratic? Because the people of India directly elect their representatives, so it is more democratic. Second one is it educates people. Activities helps in choosing appropriate candidates. Direct elections helpful to choose the appropriate candidates whom they are willing to elect. They can elect through the election, direct election, through the direct election. The third point about the direct election, merits of the, one more merits, that is the third one, it empowers people and makes rulers accountable for their actions. For the people actions, the elected members, directly elected members are responsible. Direct elections, the representatives are responsible to the activities, actions of the people. Actions of the people. They are answerable to the people. Through the direct election, representatives are elected. Those representatives are answerable to the people. These are all the merits of the direct elections. Here mentioned some demerits also. The direct elections are more expensive. The direct on parliament election, assembly election, local body elections, especially the parliament election throughout the country, India, the parliament election will be held. For that, so many crores of rupees they have to spend. Then the second point is illiterate voters sometimes get misguided by false propaganda. At the time of election, they will give more promises to the people. The uneducated people easily cheated through the false propaganda given by the candidates. This is another demerit in the direct election. Then the third demerits, free and fair elections every polling station is a major challenge. Election Commission cannot concentrate every polling stations. Sometimes they cannot control at a time all the polling stations in India. They cannot give the free and fair elections. Free and fair elections. That means conducting direct election is a challenge to the Election Commission. The responsibility of the Election Commission is conducting the free and fair elections. Because of this direct election, sometimes they cannot cannot conduct the free and fair elections. Then the next point, political candidates will influence the voters through payments. Sometimes they can pay money to the voters. The candidates sometimes they will give bribe to get vote. This is also one of the demerits of the direct elections. Then the last point about the demerits, that is, election campaigns sometimes result violence, tension, law and order problem. They go for propaganda, election propaganda. That time sometimes they may happen the violence, untoward incidents. Some untoward incidents will happen, fightings, these firings and all will happen. That is another demerits of the direct election. So all these four or five demerits given in this demerits of the election, direct elections. Then indirect election. Indirect election also held in our country India to elect the president of our country India. President is the first citizen of India. He is not directly elected by the people, indirectly elected. President of India is directly elected. Directly means through the electoral college. President of India is elected through electoral college. Electoral college. The President of India is elected by the members of electoral college. The electoral college consists of elected members of the Lok Sabha, elected members of Legislative Assembly and union territories in India. All these elected members vote to elect the President of India. That is electoral college. The members consist of the elected members of Lok Sabha, elected members of Legislative Assembly and the elected members of union territories together called electoral college. All these members are voting to elect the President of India. So he is elected through the indirect election or called electoral college. Electoral college. Here also mentioned two merits and demerits. Merits, indirect elections are less expensive. It is more suited electoral elections in large countries. Demerits, if the number of voters are very small, very few members only vote to elect the representative. So it is more chance for the less democratic because it is indirect election is less democratic. Less democratic. These are the two demerits given about the indirect elections. Indirect election. So now we have seen about the one topic from this second lesson, that is election. This answer will be given little later. Now I will give answer for the first lesson. Some answer I have to give from the first lesson, that is the civics lesson 1, that is forms of government and democracy. I will give that answer now. Mark that answer. Now you mark that answer. Already I have given the answer from that. Choose the best answer, choose the correct answer I have given, all the answers, and filling the blanks I have to give. I have to give the answer for filling the blanks. Give answer for the filling the blanks. Now I will give the answer for filling the blanks. I will write on the board, note down. From the first lesson, sixth lesson, filling the blanks. Second man, filling the blanks. First one, the Constitution of India was finally adopted on 26 November 1949. 26th November 1949. Second one is the two types of democracy are direct and indirect. Direct and indirect. Third one, an example for direct democracy is Switzerland. Fourth one, India is a parliamentary form of democracy. Parliamentary form of democracy. Fifth one, Jawaharlal Nehru was the first Prime Minister of India. Nehru was the first. The first general election was held in British India 1920. 1920. The Parliament House of the India was designed by Edwin Lutyens. And Herbert Cook. Herbert Baker. Then the next one following, first one, autocracy, North Korea, right to vote, 18, Chanakya Arthashastra, theocracy, Vatican. Once again, autocracy, North Korea, right to vote, 18 years, Chanakya Arthashastra, theocracy, Vatican. Next, give short answer, I marked all the answers. Then answer in detail. Answer in detail. First one, what are the challenges to Indian democracy? Explain. What are the challenges? What are the challenges to democracy? Explain. That is page number 242. Major challenge to the Indian democracy up to the 8 points. Democracy, from you have to start democracy in dominant form, from that till 8 points. Till 8 points you have to mark. First detail. Second detail, explain the condition necessary for the success of democracy in India. Success of democracy. Next page number 242 only. Next heading, conditions for the success of democracy in India. 9 points are there. All the 9 points you have to mark. Then the third question, what is your opinion about the democracy in India? That is page number 241. Democracy in India reading. Democracy in India reading, that para. Then right hand side, first para and second para up to last but one line, that is persons, caste, creed, region, genders and education. Up to that you have to mark. Democracy in India reading, that para, and next right hand side, first and second para. The second para last but one line up to education you have to mark. These are all the answers. You have to learn the 1 words and 2 mark short answer the next period.